Right, so welcome to week one of the 4 weeks session starting tonight. So we're going to do very similar to our warm-up that we do on every one of these sessions. If you do put your camera onto speaker mode so that you hopefully just get me on your screen most of the time when I'm speaking, that way hopefully you'll be able to see and copy what I'm doing a little bit more easily. I've got a timer as well that I'm going to use tonight, so it's going to be a time-based session. There's going to be 2 sets. Most of the sets are 40 seconds of exercise, 20 seconds of recovery, which I'm going to do on a timer. So we're going to get through this hopefully fairly quickly. So it's the first time I've tried to do it this way, so fingers crossed that that all works well. So without any further ado, we will start with our standard warm-up, please. So we're standing nice and tall, hips nice and straight, and we're just going to go back and front with our leg swings. So we're going to do 10 on each side. So we start off nice and easy, and then we gradually increase the range of that swing through the 10 repetitions. When you've done the 10 repetitions, swap over and do 10 on the other side. And again, start easy and then gradually increase the range of that swing. Try and make sure that you've got plenty of space, that you're not going to kick a chair or any other obstacle that might be in the way. Just make sure we've got no injuries from that. So it's 10 on one leg, 10 on the other, please. Okay, good. Okay, when we've done backwards and forwards, we're going to stand up nice and tall again. This time we're going to go side to side on one leg, please. So it's 10 repetitions on each leg, just gradually increasing the range of that swing as you go through the 10 reps. So we do 10 on one side, and we swap over, and we've got 10 on the other, please. So those that are just joining, we're just going through our normal sort of warm-up routine. And so just join in. If you're just joining in now, just join into whichever part of this session that you're joining in at. Right, next one, we're standing nice and tall. We're just going to do some opening the gate. So the leg comes up, we go around, we tap to the side, and we bring back forward, and we come back down, and then we do the opposite leg, tap to the side, bring that down, back down, and we repeat alternate legs, 5 on each leg, 10 all together, please. So again, try and keep nice and tall, head looking forward, and we're just using that exercise to warm up the hip area, the hip flexors, a little bit of glute work in there, just getting nice and warmed up. Okay, so it's 10 all together, 5 on each side. Still waiting for a couple of people to join in, but they'll join in as and when they get to it. Okay, so when we've done the open the gate, we're going to find ourselves a chair or a wall or a door frame in my case. We're going to lean about 45 degrees, then we're just going to do some ankle work, just warming up the ankles. So we just lift our ankle off the ground, then we swap over to the other side. We lift our heel up off the ground and just alternate through, 10 on each side. Just sort of running on the spot almost, but just picking up onto your toes, lifting that heel up off the ground. Just warming up the ankles. Warming up a little bit of calf work. So it's 10 on each leg, alternating 20 all together, please. See how we're doing. Yep, I think that is everybody bar one now, so cool. Okay, we're on to hamstring sweeps, please. So we're standing nice and tall, and we're just going to go down towards the ground by bending our left knee, sending our right leg out in front of us, and then we just sweep down to the ground, and then we alternate. And we just do 5 on each side, please. Try and keep your back as straight as possible. That helps by just keeping your head up. and just as low as you're able to do without overstraining. Remember, all we're trying to do here is just warm up. Okay, so it's the range of movement that you're able to do. We're just doing a bit of warm up on those hamstrings. Good. And I think that is officially everybody I was expecting in. So welcome again, everybody. Great. Okay, once we've done the hamstring sweeps, we're now going to do some hip work. So we're down on the ground, arms just resting down the side, head relaxed on the floor. We're just going to move the hip from one side, try and keep your shoulders down on the ground, to the other. Might help if you put your hands out to the side. Just keeping those shoulders down. We just do 5 in each direction. Keep your knees together. You may or may not be able to get your knees to the floor, but that doesn't really matter. Just whatever range of movement you can get through. So we just do 5 on each side. 10 all together, please. So again, try and concentrate on keeping your shoulders on the ground. So if your shoulders are coming up off the ground and your knees aren't touching the floor, then that's your range of movement. Then just swing to the other side, and eventually if you practice this and work on this, you will hopefully increase that range of movement. But the gauge is to keep your shoulders on the ground rather than twisting the torso up. Okay, we'll go for the lunge rotation now. So we're in the lunge position. In this case, my left leg is out, my right hand is on the floor. I've got my left elbow. I'm going to come down the inside of my shin. I'm going to rotate round, following my hand. My head will follow my hand, back down and repeat. So just from the front, for those that have not seen this before, that looks like this. So left leg, right arm on the ground, left elbow down the inside of my shin, up, and then I follow my hand around with my head, rotate as far around as I can, and back down. And we do 5 on one side, and then switch over to do 5 on the other, please. So again, your range of movement is whatever you can manage. And if you haven't done many of these, again, it's just one of those things that you will work on. So you should have, in that starting position, so your knees you should be no knees on the floor. You should be in a full lunge. You shouldn't have your knee on the floor. If you can manage it, get your knee off the ground, and then do that work. Okay, so you should have, right, just to show from the side, so your front leg is in front of you, there, rear leg is behind, so almost in a sort of a squatting position, lunging position should I say. Then we put our hand on the ground, and then we bring our shin, elbow down the shin that way. So you should be, your starting position is here. Okay, so that's it. Yeah, that's it. You've got it. It'll take a bit of practice. It's a bit of an awkward one. Then you slide where your knee is at the front. You should have your elbow on that knee coming down the inside. Let's have a look. Yep, that's it. Yeah. Good. Okay, and the final one. Just take really getting used to. So there's a couple of new people just wants to get used to that one. So this time we're in a sort of a lunge position, but this time we are kneeling. We've got our bodies nice and straight up, and we're just going to push forward from the hips and just work on that hip flexor. We go forward and we come back, go forward, we come back. We do 5 on one side, 5 on the other. Again, try and keep your head up. That'll help you keep your back straight rather than bending forward. We want the back straight. We're trying to get the quad warmed up and the hip flexors warmed up a little bit. We'll be using those a little bit tonight. So it's 5 on one side, please, 5 on the other. Okay, so I'll just get my timer ready. So while 1 or 2 are finishing off. He says, yep, there we go. Okay, so we're going to have two sets, as I said earlier. The first set is a standing core set. For this set, you will need a weight, whatever weight you've got. It can be something as little as a bottle of water, or just whatever you've got that's got a little bit of weight that's safe to use. And we're going to do that, but right now, not in the first exercise, we don't need that. So we're going to go 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. While we're on the 20 seconds off, I will explain the exercise that's coming next. So we're about to get ready. So for first one, you don't need your weight. So just starting my timer, and we're going to get ready, and I'm going to stop that a second because I just realised the timer goes 40 seconds first. So bear with me. I just realised I thought it gave me 20 seconds lead in, but it doesn't. Okay, so the first exercise, we're going to have elbows out, so fingers on your temples, and all we're going to do is bring opposite knee to elbow, creating a crunch. Okay, simple as that. So opposite elbow, opposite knee. You're just bringing that knee across to meet your elbow and vice versa. So we're going to get ready to go for 40 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. Okay, that's it. So opposite, opposite. We're just crunching down. Again, try not to collapse in the middle. We're just trying to bring our knees up, keeping that core engaged, please. Remember what I always say when we're doing any exercise, we want to keep that core muscle engaged, please. We've got 15 seconds left of this, so opposite knee, really good. Getting that knee coming up and across your body, keeping that core muscle engaged, please. And rest there, please. Okay, you will need your weight now, please. This time, we're going to have our feet just beyond shoulder width apart. We've got a weight in one hand, got a salute, so fingers to temple on the other, and we're just going to go down the side of the leg. So let's get ready to go, off we go. We're going to go down, so we're feeling that in the side abs, keeping our legs straight, and we're just sliding that weight, whatever weight you've got, down the side of your leg, and just crunching. So we're working on this crunch. This elbow stays pointing up towards the ceiling as you go down. We've got 15 seconds to go. Last few seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, get yourself ready. It doesn't take a genius to work out. We're now going to do the same on the opposite side. So again, we've got 10 seconds before we go again. So get yourselves ready. So it's the same exercise, so this time we're saluting on the opposite side. And we go, off we go. And we slide down the leg. Keeping our body nice and straight up, as in not bending forwards or backwards. So it's just a sideways bend. Just crunching those out to keep those core muscles engaged, please. Concentrate on sucking that tummy button in. And as you go down, we point our elbow up to the ceiling. And we take the weight down the side of our leg. As far as you're able to do with whatever weight you've got. You can manage it without a weight if you don't have a weight. Obviously, if you've got a weight, you'll just get a little bit more out of that. Okay, rest there, please. The next one is with your weight again. This time we're going to be standing up nice and straight. Just a couple of inches between your feet. We're going to hold our weight out in front of us, and then we're going to rotate the weight round the side, and we're going to follow that movement with our head. We're going to do that for 40 seconds. So away we go. Try and keep your hips facing forward, which is going to be difficult, but keep that core muscle engaged. Again, if you've got a too heavy a weight here, you might want to consider switching down to a lighter one, or even no weight at all, just while you build some strength here. But if you can manage to keep your hips from totally rotating around by keeping them locked in as much as you can with your core engaged, you'll get more out of this exercise. Okay, last few seconds, and we get ready to. Okay, rest there please. We'll do the next exercise, which is with your weight again. We're standing with feet shoulder width apart or just somewhere comfortable. We start with our weight up, and then we just bring our weight down, bring our knee up, weight down, bring our weight up. Okay, so we're doing some arm work here. Away we go. So we start up and we bring down. We start up, we come down, alternating from one leg to the other. So again, depending what weight you're using, depends on certainly how much upper body work you're going to do here. Again, so hold your weight nice and comfortably, just as you lift. So as we bring down, we bring the knee up. Okay. So you've got 8 more seconds, we're nearly finishing on that rep. 2, 1, and rest. Okay, the next exercise is a bit of a variation on one we've already done tonight. So this time we've got feet beyond shoulder width apart. We're going to do side bends again. This time we're going to have the weight in the air, and as we bend, we want to look at that weight. So as we go down, our head goes up. So off we go. Up. As we go down, head looks at the weight. As we go down, head looks at the weight. We just slide down wherever you can, and you hold that weight up. Whatever weight you've got, it might start to feel heavy after 40 seconds, I'm pretty sure it will. I'm now wishing I'd put a much lighter dumbbell in. We're just holding that. If you have to take a break, take a break. We've got less than 10 seconds to go. And it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, you've got 20 seconds rest, and then we go on the other side, please. Okay, so again, we've got the weight up in the air, and we go down to the side. As we go down, we look up towards that weight, and we're just working on these side muscles again. So 3, 2, 1, and let's go. 40 seconds again. We just keep pushing through, holding that weight up for as long as you're able to do. Again, if you are struggling, just take a breather and go again, or if it's just too much with the weight, put the weight down, swap it for a lighter weight, whatever you need to do to get those reps done. And again, as you'll probably be able to work out, you can progress this exercise yourself by increasing or reducing the weight and increasing the number of reps. And rest there then, please. Okay. Oh yes, right, okay, the next exercise is a reverse lunge with your weight. As we reverse lunge, we bring the weight up in a sort of bicep crunch. We come back, we push our hips forward, and this weight comes down. It's just a step back. Just working. So away we go, guys, please. So we do one leg at a time. So we're not alternating legs, we're just doing one leg. So it's just the same leg for 40 seconds. 20 seconds rest, and then we work on that other leg. Okay, and rest there please on that one. Get ready with your weight to use for the other leg. This is where the bottles come in handy, you can get a drink. Okay, so this time you should alternate opposite leg that you've just done. So again, we just crunch up and away we go. Let's go then please, everybody, off we go. We've got 40 seconds on this other leg. Try and keep your head up. Try and keep your back up, so try not to lean forward, try not to go too far back, keep that core muscle engaged. If you can, it's a little bit of concentration. If you find it a struggle, don't go too far back, just take a slightly smaller step. Whatever it is you need to do to get through this 40 seconds. Obviously, the further back you go, the more effort you'll need to power yourself back up with that standing leg. Rest there, please. Okay, you can put your weights down, just put them down gently, careful how you put them down. If it's a heavy weight, make sure that your squat has your putting your weight down. The next exercise, hand on hip. I'm just going to pause this because I want to explain that. I'm going to run out of time to explain. So this time we're going to have hand up in the air, and we're going to bring the opposite knee up and that elbow down, back up. As we bring that back up, the leg goes behind us, so we're just going to tap down behind us. So from the side, so it's just a little tap on your toes, and so you don't put your full foot down, just up, tap. Okay, hopefully I explained that okay. We'll soon see. So away we go then, please. So 40 seconds on one side. So we're just tapping back. That's it. Yep. Good. So we tap our knee with our hand as we come up, and then we lunge back. You don't have to lunge back a long way. It's just a little step back and up. Ooh, get my rhythm right. Okay, we're halfway through. Try and keep that core muscle engaged. Try and keep your upper body as straight as you can without leaning forward, hinging at the hip. And we're just trying to get that coordination, a little bit of a tap. I'm falling over doing that. Rest there, please. Okay, and we're going to go again on the other side this time for 20 seconds. No, we're not. We're going to go 40 seconds. It's 20 seconds rest. Confusing myself now. We'll get ready to go in 3, 2, 1, and go, please. Okay, so it's the opposite leg this time. So again, just try and get the coordination. Might help with your hand on your hip. And it's just a little stab back with your toes on the ground. And we're just bringing that hip. Really good exercise on the hip flexors, bringing that hip up, as you can see. Working the core muscle, but also your standing leg is having to work to help you keep your balance. So it's doing some good ankle work as well. So I quite like this one. When I did this session earlier myself, you soon find out how fatigued you get when you get through 40 seconds. And rest. Final exercise in this set. This time we want double salute, so fingers on temples. Feet are going to be beyond shoulder width apart, and we're going to crouch down in the squat position, so back should be up, head should be up, and then we just tap with that elbow, tap with that elbow. We're going to go now, please. Tap, tap, and we're going 40 seconds. Just tapping down, we're keeping that nice squatting position, we're engaging our core, and we're just working those side abdominal muscles. This time, our own body weight is making us put the effort in. And again, we're just working from side to side. Try and keep that squat position, which I can see you doing. If you're really struggling, just stand up a little bit, or just do this without the squat. Okay, and rest there, please. Brilliant, good. Okay, that's the end of the first set. Now go on to set, by the way, we're only doing that once, you'd probably be pleased to know. Right, okay, the next set is of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 exercises. Again, there's some upper body work involved here, so it's more arms and abs. First exercise, I'm going to give you a minute's rest, so I'll take my time explaining this. So we're going to be down on the ground. Again, we're going to have our hands with our fingers on our temples. This time I want your feet sort of together, so you've got a sort of almost like a frog-like leg position. I want you to bring your hips So your back's engaged with the floor, so you sort of tilt your pelvis up a little bit, pointing that up towards the ceiling. And then all I want to do is, with your elbows as wide as you can, just crunch up and down. And we're just going to crunch up and down. So from the front, the position looks like this, although I'm a bit too near the board, but that's the leg position. Okay, let's get ready to go. The minute's almost up. So again, we want the legs wide apart, with your feet sort of together if you can, and elbows out wide as you crunch. So 3, 2, 1 and go. 40 seconds please. So we're crunching up. Again, all we're doing is crunching. Keep that pelvis sort of lifted, at the front of your pelvis lifted up, so that the rear and your back is engaged fully with the floor. Keep that tummy muscle pulled in so that you're not arching. That way you'll protect your back. And we've got 15 seconds to go. So we're just doing a little bit of a crunch. Keep those elbows nice and wide, so when you come up, don't bring your elbows in. They should still be acting like wings. And rest there please. Okay, the second exercise, or the next exercise, we're going to be in a full press up position. All we're going to do there, we're going to rock back on our toes, and rock forward, tap our knees down, come up, rock back, come forward, tap our knees down, come up, rock back, come forward, tap our knees down, up, etc. Keeping that full press up plank position throughout, please. So we're going in 10 seconds. Yeah, okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and go. Okay, so that's it, yeah, rock back, you just touch the knees to the ground and come back up, rock back on your toes so that you're working those ankles. Try and keep a nice flat position on your press up hold, and then just as you go forward, just tap your knees down to the ground, come straight back up, and then rock back again. So all the time we're trying to keep our backs as level as we can. Again, just remembering that glass of water trick where you're trying not to spill it. And rest please. Okay, the next exercise is a fairly simple one. It's bicycles. So you've seen this one before. So down on the ground, all we're doing is elbow to knee, elbow to knee, elbow to knee, elbow to knee. If you're good enough, you can do it in a feet off the ground. So away we go please. So it's either feet off the ground if you're fairly strong in that area, or you can rest by putting your feet back on the ground each time. However you want to tackle this, or maybe try half and half just to see. And again, you can progress this by keeping those feet off the ground. We're halfway through. And we've got 10 seconds to go on the bicycles. Again, keep that core muscle engaged so it keeps your back nice and flat against the floor, please. And 3, 2, 1 and rest. Okay, the next exercise, we're in that full plank position again. We're going to hold that, but this time we just bring our feet out to the side and tap down. So from a different angle, that looks like just tapping out to the side. Again, trying to keep the hips nice and straight. And we'll get ready to go. 3, 2, 1 and go. That's it, yeah. So again, try and think, have I got my body in a nice straight line? Am I controlling my movement by engaging my core? I'm not letting my body roll from side to side as I move my leg. So the movement is all from the hip, sending your leg out to the side, bringing it back in, sending the opposite leg out, back in, without rotating round, using the upper body strength to control and protect the upper body and your core for the lower middle part. Rest there, please. Good. Okay, we are now on, where are we? Oh, yes, right. Okay, I'm going to pause this, I have done already. It'll take a few seconds to explain. So, we're laying nice and flat on the ground. You can sit on your hands if that helps, or you can put your hands down the side. But what we're going to do in this exercise, we're going to bring our leg up as high as you're able to. Depends how tight your hamstrings are, mine are pretty rubbish. Back needs to be flat on the ground though, so don't come up and curl. Your back needs to be flat on the ground, so wherever you can get to, you then lower your legs to a position where it just starts to be too much, and then we bring in the legs, and then we go back and we repeat. So you might get right down here, you might only get there, but we're just going to hold that, come in when it starts to get too much, and we go up, and again, try and keep that back nice and flat on the ground. We're going to go for 40 seconds. Just get ready to go. I'll just see how we're doing with this one. So again, it doesn't matter how far you can bring your legs down before you lose control, but keep that back nice and flat on the ground, and go in 3, 2, 1, go please. Okay, so we bring our legs up, then we lower down to keeping our core muscle engaged, and then when we start to feel ourselves failing the hold, we bring our legs, tuck them in, and then we'll repeat. So really bring your knees to your chest, gives you a bit of a break on your core muscle, and then you send and you go out again. Nice and slow though, it doesn't have to be a race. The longer you can slow down your feet going down to your pinch point position, the better that will be on your core workout there. And rest there please. Good. Okay, where are we up to? Oh yes. This time is where you will need your bottles or your two objects, doesn't matter, it can be a shoe actually, it doesn't really matter what it is. But all we're going to do is you're going to put the two bottles about 6 inches or so apart. You're going to be down on the ground, on your elbows. We're going to keep that core muscle engaged. All we're going to do on one leg is up, tap down, tap down, tap down, tap down, tap down. Same leg all the way through, and we'll just do that for 40 seconds. And we'll just keep that core muscle engaged. Give you a few more seconds and I'll tell you when to go. So we're just going to tap, tap, tap on the same leg, backwards and forwards. Just holding that core position, holding a straight leg out, fully tensioned leg please. 3, 2, 1 and go. Keep that knee locked, sending your heel out as far away from you as you can. Nice and slow, methodical movements over those hurdles, whatever hurdles you've chosen to use, okay? So again, didn't quite get that. Down on the ground, we've got our core engaged, we've got our leg, and we just tap, 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 and we've got 10 more seconds, and then we'll go on the other leg. And rest there please. This time exactly the same, but on the other side. We've got 10 seconds before we go again, so get yourselves ready please. Keeping that core engaged, keeping those leg fully extended, and go. So it's tap and tap, tap, and keep that heel pointing out away from you, and just nicely, gently tapping, only fractionally touching the ground, if at all. You can control it without touching the floor, that's fine. Keep your core muscle engaged, please. Just keep working that. You should start to feel that in the hip and in the quad. Again, we're going for another 10 seconds, please. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay. Finish with your water bottles. This time, final one, final exercise of the evening before we do a few stretches. We need your tennis ball, or it doesn't matter what you've got. Actually, you can use the bottles that you've just had. Doesn't matter what it is. This time we're going to be in our full press up plank position. So we can start with the ball on one side. So you might want your feet further apart this time. The important thing here is trying to maintain control. So you're going to pick up your ball, put it there, just beyond where your arm is. Reach over with the other one, put it back. Reach over with the other one, put it back. So you're bringing that arm through each side, past where your standing arm is. 2 or 3 inches past, and you reach out for that. But the really important thing here is to try and keep the core muscle engaged, so we don't want the hips rocking round. We want a nice stable position so when you're on one hand and the other one's moving, you've got it all under control. So let's get ready to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Let's see how we get on with this. Again, make sure whatever it is that you're using to move, you move it beyond where your weight-bearing arm is. So you've got to reach underneath that weight-bearing arm to get that weight. So you need to reach a bit more. Should be at least sort of 2 or 3 inches beyond that weight-bearing arm. You want to be doing a little bit of work on that core muscle as you're pushing through. But obviously you've got a lot of strength work going on through with your shoulders there. Brilliant, well done. Rest there, please. Excellent. That, my friends, is the second set completed. Like I said, a little bit different tonight than we have done in the past. Mainly because I was trying to see if it worked a little bit better with the timing, which just looking at the time seems to suggest that we have actually, so I haven't ridiculously overrun like I normally do. So